Welcome back. Early voting has begun in Texas. It runs through February 27th. The primary day, for those keeping track at home, and I know many of you are, that's March 3rd. Earlier today, I spoke with Texas Republican Congressman and Senate candidate Wesley Hunt. Congressman, early voting has begun. President Trump still has not endorsed in the Senate Republican primary. How badly do you need the president's endorsement, and what are you going to try to do to get it?
Well, that's actually a great question. And keep in mind that John Cornyn and Collins are the only two Republican incumbents in the entire country that the president has not endorsed. And the whole point about getting President Trump's endorsement is that it's got to be earned. You have to do the work. He's not going to give it out. And it also matters that there are a lot of people that are in this race that have had his back from the very beginning, like me. I was the first person in the country to endorse him this last cycle. I was one of his top surrogates traveling all over the country, not just with him, but as a surrogate for him in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and also down in Nevada and in California, obviously in Texas, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina. I traveled around the country on his behalf. And so at the end of the day, the president said just last night, I like all three of these guys. All three of them are my friends. But at the end of the day, he still has not endorsed the incumbent, which means that it still can be earned. And that's exactly what I intend on doing. But most importantly, I want to earn the vote of the primary voter here in Texas. And I do believe that if you earn their trust, and it's clearly been lost for John Cornyn, then you will ultimately earn the support of the president.
Congressman, there's not a lot of polling in this race, but the most recent polling has you running third, but gaining some ground. You're obligated to tell me you're going to win the primary or qualify for the runoff. I respect that. Tell me how you're going to do that.
Well, quite frankly, it's the top two that go into a runoff, and then the winner of the runoff goes into the general election. And most of the polling that you have seen in the general election, I'm already outperforming both of my colleagues. Before the recent polling came out, there was a JR Partners poll that came out and a Signal poll that came out that had me strongly in second place behind Ken Paxton. Now, keep in mind, you have John Cornyn, who is a 24-year incumbent. The first time he was actually put in office as a judge, I was 11 months old. You heard that, 11 months old. He has spent over $80 million on this race, and he is polling in the 20s in his own home state. That is a rejection of the primary voter. And so the only thing we really have to do is stay exactly where we are and just hold court, get into this runoff, and then the people of Texas will actually have a choice between two real conservatives that are going to vote in the vein of what Texans want. They are America First patriots like myself. There are people that are in their early 40s that actually believe in term limits. All of these things are what I keep hearing all over Texas. And so if we keep barnstorming Texas, keep a positive message, let's talk about the issues, no ad hominem attacks, I can assure you that the people of Texas are singing right through it. And that's the reason why John Cornyn is spending millions of dollars against me. And if we were polling in a distant third, I can assure you that this morning he would not have purchased another $1 million hitting me in Texas. And what he doesn't understand is that as an Apache helicopter pilot, as a West Point grad, I like you when you're shooting at me because it means I'm right over the target zone, and I'm just going to stay right here and keep on working.
According to a piece I read in the Texas Tribune late in January, you have missed 1 in 5 House votes since taking office in 2023. Why is that?
Well, keep in mind, especially this year, I've missed quite a few votes. And to be honest with you, it's because I've been trying to unseat a 24-year lifelong incumbent. What I want people to know is this: I can't be in two places at one time. But whenever the president needs my vote, whenever the Speaker of the House has needed my vote this year, I got on the plane, I canceled all my events, and I was right there to ensure that we got President Trump's agenda through. But I want people to know this as well. When J.D. Vance was selected as the vice president, as the vice presidential nominee, do you know how many votes he missed? All of them. He missed all of them. Because when you are trying your best to get your message all over the state of Texas, and I have held over 40 events, I've had over 100 interviews. That's what I've been doing for the past month and a half to ensure that we term limited a 24-year incumbent. Also, last year, I was one of 2 years ago, I was one of President Trump's top surrogates, traveling around the country with him. So I missed votes there. And also my son was in the NICU when I first got to Congress.
Understood. Chip Roy, one of your Republican colleagues in the House, as you well know, running for Attorney General in Texas, he's missed far fewer votes than you have. Jasmine Crockett, running for the Democratic nomination in the Senate race, also has missed far fewer votes than you have. Isn't that evidence that they can do both at the same time?
Well, actually, Chip Roy's already been around for a long time. Keep in mind, I'm not a career politician. I've only been in Congress for 3 years. And so I had to work on getting my name ID up. And Chip's actually been around for longer than me. So he really necessarily didn't have that issue. And this is the reason why I've already been in the Panhandle. I've been in West Texas. I've been in East Texas, South Texas, you name it. And in fact, there's a heat map that shows I have been all over the state and I have taken 2 laps. The only thing I could do is run my race. I cannot be compared to other people. And there's a reason why, again, my opponents are spending millions of dollars against me because the people of Texas care far more about what I am doing to earn their vote by barnstorming Texas. And they know that they will have my vote when it is needed. Keep in mind, I also have one of the most conservative voting records in the entire Texas delegation, which means that my Liberty score is in the 90s and John Cornyn's Liberty score is in the 50s. What people do want is that when you do show up and vote, and they want you to vote, you vote their values. What they don't want is a senator that's going to support gun control legislation in Texas. In fact, I wish John Cornyn would have missed more votes.
Republican Congressman from Texas, Wesley Hunt, I appreciate the time, sir. Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you for having me on, sir.